I'm back again. So initially I made a promise to stop making video about narcissists, but I'm not gonna act like we are not experiencing them, despite the fact that you feel like you're more enlightened, you know more about narcissists, whatsoever. It's just that I felt like me coming across this information while I was actually reading one of the book, The Cage Bait, and I I was like, you know what, this book is inspiring me to write back about narcissists again, because at the end of the day, we are dealing with them, whether you like it or not. They are everywhere. Narcissists are everywhere. Narcissists are everywhere. Workplace, including acacia. You can explain a narcissist. There is actually acacia in any supermarket, in any way. For example, the last narcissist that I actually experienced, it was actually not my family. It was a quarry guy, whereby I had to have a delivery, and it bring me anxiety because I just move on and buying things online rather than going in, but not everything. So this is something that I know that we all gonna experience it. Narcissists are real. Narcissists are everywhere. This is a confirmation from the dogs. So I'm just gonna read and tell you, because this is something that I wrote while I was actually reading The Cage Bait. I forgot the author, but it's a cage bait. The girl that was put for 30 years in jail. Just think, like, not in jail, but it was more like a jail, because she grew up in a cult home by narcissist, and it was something that she talked about way back 2013. I forgot her name. Okay. Narcissist. How do you know that you're actually dealing with narcissist? It's whereby you are serving. They train you to serve them without ever thinking of yourself. They are the truth. Whatever they say is the fact. You're not supposed to have this dog starting to irritate me. Shut up. You whatever they say is the fact. You're not supposed to oppose whatever that they say. That's why whenever you're saying something with a narcissist, you ended up experiencing a silent treatment. If it's not gonna be a silent treatment, they're gonna cause fear in your life, because that's what they want. Whether they team up with other people, with group, in order to tame you, because at the end of the day, they want you to tame. They obsessed with controlling people. They're obsessed with controlling people that they know they can't control. People who are, they know, like, nurses can predict who you are. Nurses can predict the future. They know you're gonna expose them in future. Because why? Nurses can sense someone who can see them. They know someone who see them. That's why they make groups with people who can't see them. Instead, they make you, like, they want you to be crazy, because they are very much crazy in the head. So they will try to make you feel like you are the one who's actually insane. The fact that a lot of people who are around them, that are trying to make you feel like you are crazy, is because that's what they want. They want you to feel like you are crazy. They want you to feel like you be out of it, because that's what they want. They want to cause fear. Narcissists fear the shit out of you, especially if you can see through their mask, because they wear masks. They constantly wear masks. So the physical abuse, when you are experiencing a narcissist abuse, you experience physical abuse. If it's not going to be a physical abuse, but this is something that you're going to experience whenever you're dealing with a narcissist: physical abuse, emotionally abuse, spiritual abuse, all the kind of abuse you can think of, financially abuse, whatsoever. But not all of them are actually physical abusive. But my father was actually physical abusive, as well as my mother sometimes toward me. She used to make sure that I bleed whenever she let me go. When I even, like, make a mistake, that like it's a honest mistake, she will make sure that she leave me bleeding. That's what something they do. They make sure that they leave you in the most horrible way. Um, when you are raised by a narcissist, probably they told you that you are not a good child. they're helping you out to be a good child. Have you ever experienced those lines, experienced those sentences? I have, whereby I've been told that I'm a bad child. Everything that I do, I'm a bad, for just being individual. They hate individuality. They put you in fear. I mentioned that. They want you to be in fear. They want you to fear them. That's why they give you silent treatment, because obviously when you have anxiety, grow up with anxiety, you gonna fear what is gonna happen next. You constantly don't know. You have this not knowing what is next with them, because someday you'll be expecting them to be mean, the next thing they're nice out of the blue, and then after you're just starting to relax, that's when they attack, because they want you in a place whereby you trust them again so that they can wound you. They're constantly searching for a way to wound you. They're so psychotic, like they're so, or they hate individuality. They hate people who can enjoy their life individually. They constantly attack them. They constantly have issue with them. I'm not saying nurses can't be a loner, because I like, especially the social path, those one who make who are serial killers, serial criminals. As much as they make friends who are actually good, so that they can cover up what is actually happening within them, because they want people that they know they're good. Because there was a time that I actually watched the ID Discovery, whereby a woman was so surprised that the man that they know he's actually a criminal, serial killer, because she left him with her kids once to babysit, but nothing happened. But she was so surprised how much this person was calculated, because sometimes they need cover. Because eventually, when you're alone, people are gonna talk about you, right? I'm a loner myself. People can talk a lot about me, but I don't care. But them, they care about what other people say about them. That's why they have to put a mask. They have to just do anything to put a mask and get away with it. uh, you are not allowed to have friends. They isolate you. You're not allowed to have friends, whether you are dating a narcissist or your parent a narcissist, or a lover. They try by all means to isolate you, because the thing is, your friends, if especially if you have a good friends, they will tell you that you change. Why ever since you dated this person you change? Oh, why are you always like this? Because why? People outside can see what is actually happening. As much as gut, with the gut, that there's something wrong with these people, but you still don't know the term. You still don't know what exactly it is, because they made you believe that you are the crazy one, but in the honest way, it's them who are actually crazy. They try by all means to make you like you're sane or you're crazy, but but the honest is that they're fucking crazy, because those people are sick in the head. So they isolate. You find out yourself isolated from your friends, or maybe even they block it for they block your friends for you. You wouldn't even know that they block. Whenever you come across, like, why did you block? They will say something that is excuse, and you know it's an excuse, but somehow, because you're still not in your authentic self, not in yourself, because they try to strip away your individuality in order for you to depend on them. They hate anyone who's independent. They hate anyone who's coming across have personality. They don't want you to have it. That's what they want from you. They don't want you to get along with everyone. Like, for example, my mother, whenever I was trying to get along with my siblings, she would sabotage the relationship. She will say something. She will sabotage the relationship, or maybe she will frame me for something, and I wouldn't understand why she does that. She will try to do that whenever I'm getting close to someone. She will sabotage. She will sabotage. Every time I got exhausted, because I knew that my sisters, because the fact that I was the only one who see it, and the fact that I was the only one who was opinionated in my family, because they were enablers. They were agreeing with whatever my mother was saying. Initially, I thought maybe because they are scared to be a scapegoat, but the more I grow, I realized they're actually narcissists themselves, because that's why they were trying by all means to attack your inner child when you were young. They try by all means to program you when you were young, because they want you to have the same generational curse that they have. Because narcissism is a generational curse. I know some people probably like two siblings who actually narcissists, but their parents are not. But for me, the whole fucking black line, like the whole, when I'm looking at my grandma, I remember her, I'm like, fuck, that bitch was a narcissist too. Forgive me, but I have to say that, because they were dirty. They did a division and shit. There was always drama whenever, or in my father's side and my mother's side. Like into the family, the whole thing of meeting up was exhausting. Like I never liked to be around them. You are constantly taught to hate yourself. They want to strip you away from your personality. I mentioned that. They make they make you hate childlike things. Have you ever been? They make you hate childlike things. For example, when I was young, I wanted to have a teddy bear so badly, so badly. I was look, but I've never like received anything that made me happy. It was something that was taken away from me. When I wanted a teddy bear, she would buy me almost like a dolly she know that I won't like, that she know that I won't entertain it. So when she bought it, I ended up probably playing with 3 days, and the next thing I'll choose to play with mud, because when I was a kid, I was playful. And even now, my childlike is back. I'm healing, and I like what I see. So they try by all means to hate anything that is childlike. Like she made sure she never like bought me teddy bear, even though I wanted it so badly, or maybe they made me feel bad about my inner, my childlike, my coffee energy. So it is something that I'm getting it back right now because I'm healing. So yeah, they make you hate. Okay, I mentioned that they are the center of the attention, even if it doesn't mean it belongs to them. Have you ever coming across someone whenever you are being interviewed, or maybe someone asks you about you, and then whether it's a friend or lover or whatsoever, they make you feel like you are you're someone who can't speak for themselves. They just take the spotlight. They just take this, even if it, like I understand maybe you're taking a spotlight because you're academically smart, or maybe there's something that you've done that make you being put in attention. Maybe like you're getting married, because obviously when you get married, we make it, even though we're invited, we make it to be your day, because we know this is gonna be special. This is something that you're gonna remember probably for the rest of your life. We don't know, you know. So they take that spot. You'll be wearing this, they will wearing this. You'll be doing that. They make everything about them. They like being everything about them. They like being at the center of attention. Everyone, like if a narcissist, you have a problem with a narcissist, they will call them flying monkeys, so that they can stop having a day and listen to them. Oh, they believe that they're actually smart, smarter than anyone. Do you ever come across those people? I remember one of my ex, like, you, there's nothing wrong with telling yourself that you actually, I'm smart, I'm beautiful, I'm this and that. But with them, it comes to the point that you have to listen to it like every day. And when you're looking at them, there's nothing smart about them. Like, instead you feeling discouraged to be around them, and they're constantly telling you that people are actually jealous of them. People are jealous of, like I remember like growing up, I was taught to not to have friends because people are actually jealous, which is true. It was true, but I've noticed the tone. It was not really like, she was not based on that. It's because she didn't want it. My mother didn't want it to be exposed. Me having friends meaning I'm exposing them, because why, not every friend that I had a narcissistic friend mother or narcissistic whatsoever. But unfortunately for me, it was the case. But as much as narcissists don't, or not all of them, they actually are living the same way. For example, Beyonce is a narcissist. You know, a lot of people don't know that. Beyonce is a fucking narcissist, and we all know that she sold her soul. She been like visiting on my dream like in the most horrible way. But I'm gonna talk. She's trying to make me not to speak. Beyonce is a narcissist that a lot of people don't know about, and one day we probably, you know, that it's just that whenever you're coming across someone who's actually viewed as successful in our society, people are gonna be like, ah, you're jealous, especially me. Like, you know Beyonce more than me. Like, you know, people will be like, ah, but that is not true. Beyonce, the reason Beyonce doesn't do interview is because she knows that she's gonna be exposed. She have a mask. She put a mask, and that bitch, like, you gonna know about that bitch. And Solange and Jay Z, okay, they believe that they are everyone is jealous of them, which it can be true, but in most cases it's not even true. Like, people don't even know they exist, or maybe they saying people are jealous of them because they're driving their girlfriend's car or wife's car, or they are using their husband money. Like, it's nothing that you can be jealous of, because like, obviously when I'm feeling like the hardship of life, I'm like, oh fuck, if I can be a housewife. But I know being a housewife is not easy either. It's not something that I can enjoy, because my creativity matter. I like to be in, to be hands on. So yeah. Oh, they will hold attention, affection, love. You will They will hold affection, love, whatsoever, any kind of affection, love in your way. For example, I was very affectionate when I was a kid, but I was blocked by my mother every time he blocked me. I feel like, don't kiss me. Are you trying to kill me or something? Like, are you trying to kill? How does a kiss kill someone? Eh? How? How? Like, how can a kiss can kill someone? She will used to say something like, "Oh, you're gonna kill me," or whatsoever. And I'm like, what the fuck? Even right now, I'm having hard time to be affectionate toward people, but this is something I'm working on. You will pray things get better, but you know that they will never get better. But they will make you believe that they give you like a yo-yo effect, like a yo-yo love, that you constantly yo-yo me. They're constantly putting you there, and that, like, they break promises like every time. Like, break promises, even those promises that are actually important. Like, mm, like probably where a student, you are supposed to ask your parent to be there. It's a very important meeting, and make you feel like being hopefully, and the next thing they don't come. They like disappointing. It's like, it give them trolls. They Everything they do, they give them trolls. Like, I used to think nurses don't read. They do read, because I once came across a nurses that only read scary things, scary movies, like scary novels, thrills, like all those kind of, those one that make you feel like, when you're watching like a scary movie or thrills, you having like anxiety on on your tummy, because that's what they like. They like that. They like causing you that. I'm not saying all nurses are like that. Just that I came across those one who are actually like that. Everything you like was removed. I mentioned that everything that you actually like, it was removed in your life. Probably you like this, it will be removed or be destroyed or be anything. You constantly put down by everybody. There is constantly a smear campaign. I mentioned that nurses have flying monkey. What are flying monkeys? Are those people that are actually trained by nurses to attack you? Are those people who are trained by nurses by causing like talking about you, about how shit you are? It's a people that they use to attack you, people they use to get information from it, the people they use to spread like some shit information about you, because they don't want to spread information alone. They want to spread with other people. You find another people, a person looking at you in a bad way, and you'll be like, what's wrong? Until you realize he's fucking with your ex. He's fucking with your mother. Like, you will realize they are friends or something. And like, because they have something in common. But I'm not saying all people actually flying monkey cannot get out of it. But so for me, for example, the flying monkey that I've seen, it's people that are exactly like them. For example, the nurses that I know, like plenty, but I'm gonna make example for this one. This one is actually, he used to steal. He still, like, he steals a lot. Like, it's a lot. There was even a case whereby he steals, and the flying monkeys also steals, and like they get things with witchcraft. Necessity when witchcraft are like this, the relationship is like this. Witchcraft and narcissist, okay, they constantly pick up on you. Obviously, smear campaign is about picking up on you. You constantly have this scary energy within yourself. You don't know what's next. You don't know what's gonna come. They choose things for you. Have you ever come across someone like, please wear dresses? wear dresses. What the fuck? Who the fuck are you to tell me what to wear? Like, do you ever come across those one? They choose things for you. They choose clothes. They choose whatever. They make you like they make you feel like everything that we think is off doesn't matter. Like it reminds me of a movie, like no, it's a series, Korean series, where I actually watch, um, Fashion King. The Fashion King guy was a fucking narcissist in that thing. They choose everything for you. You constantly have I'm not gonna mention this. You are not allowed to. You are not allowed to favor what he or she likes. She doesn't like. You're not allowed to favor something that he or she doesn't like. For example, if they love TV news, because nurses love news, like they fucking love news. I don't know why, but news, I don't know whether it's because it has negative energy or what. They watch news like a motherfucker. Like you, those people, they feel bad for missing it to the point they buy newspaper if they find out that they actually missed. Then how, like, whenever you have like a negative, like they don't accept the people, they don't like what they like. When are you, for example, you like news, I don't like news, I'm not gonna argue with you. I don't like news, you do like news, I will let you watch your news, but don't drag me into it. Don't make me feel bad for not liking it, because I don't make you feel bad with whatever choices that you have, because we have numerous choices, we know what works for us. So fuck off, you know. It's the same thing when you sold your soul, okay, as long as you're not harming any human, you're not harming me or anyone. Because at the end of the day, I can say I mind my fucking business, but if I say that you're harming other people when you're selling your soul, that is not my, like, that's when I get that's when do it as, I do it as my own business, because that means you're hating other people, and I'm not gonna shut up. I'm not gonna, because when I shut up, that means I'm actually allowing you, like it means I'm agreeing with whatever you're doing. That's when I don't shut up. That's why I don't shut up with Beyonce. She's a shit woman. But anyway, let me move on. Creativity is deny, like they deny you to be creative. Like they deny you to be creative. They don't want you to be creative. They don't want you to have it, because most of them, they're dead. Obviously creativity goes well with spirituality. When you are not drawing spiritual, you also not drawing. That's why the last album by Beyonce is shitty as fuck. I know a lot of people like haha, but for me, I see what you don't see, and that is okay. I know that last album she was putting, I never listened to the album, but I know that she's not the alien star. She's trying to suck other people. She's trying to harvest spiritual people to get by. I'm not saying spiritual people are the, they are they. We're all like, it's depend on your spiritual ranking. But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna lie and say people who are actually spiritual. Most of them who are actually healing are not there. Spiritual. I'm not talking about this ranking, this earthly ranking, because it's nonsense. It doesn't matter, because we're all gonna die. We're gonna leave your money. You're gonna leave everything. You're not gonna take anything with you. Can you? Can you take your status? Oh, she was a well known. That's the only thing they can say. Tupac, when he left, I listened to one of interview. They said he gave out his rings that he used to cherish, because why? He knew, when was, like, you knew that all the things that you hold on into, they don't matter. I remember my brother was a narcissist, my late brother. When he died, we didn't know back then when people die they change, they give you like a word behavior, they become so kind and whatsoever. When he died, he had a lot of regret. He was constantly crying, like he was depressed whatsoever, because he knew, like he used to be in and out of jail. He was constantly being found in a shit situation. Was constantly, I won't be surprised that he actually killed someone the way he was, because he used to have like illegal guns. Like, you know, he used to be that thug, like he used to be in this dark life. So when he died, he died when he was actually 31. But now he's my spiritual, he's my angel. He's been there for me, man. He's been there. So I'm talking about when he died, he changed, like he literally changed. But it was just like 1 month until like next month, and then he died. Like it was more like a 1 month thing, because he changed, like everything that he used to be so attached to, he didn't care about anymore. Tupac used to love his wings, even he rap about it. But now, when he died, he gave them out. because he knew that what his focus was not in what he wanted. It was not important. I don't give a fuck. That's why I'm saying these bitches that our society is ruined by society, the narcissist and sociopath. They're trying by all means to make us not to find out who we are, our soul. They're trying by all means to make these things, make it like, oh, when you're driving this expensive car, you know you are the shit. When you are living in this neighborhood, like, it's not important. Once you listen to your soul, you realize that even this career that I'm choosing, as much as I'm gonna get a lot of money, it's not gonna work for me in the long run. Like, you just know, like, you obvious other people end up being doctor for life, despite the fact that uh they want to be a chef, because chef, being a chef means you are constantly, you don't have like, you're not supposed to be comfortable. The competition is too high. But being a doctor, yes, you're gonna constantly learning, but you know you won't be drawing, especially if it's not your career. But if it's your career, that's why a lot of doctors invent something later on, because it's something that they are in it with heart. It's their passion. Others who are not, you will realize, like, they don't even love themselves. They gain weight. Even if like he was chubby, he will gain weight more because they don't have time for themselves. You know, it's kind of badly, but anyway, that's how it is. I mentioned that identity is being taken away, nitpicking and surveillance. When you're dealing with narcissists, you constantly feel like you're being watched, which is true. You are being watched. I know that I'm being watched, but I'm being watched by my toxic family and my ex-friend. But it's fine. You're constantly feeling like you're being watched. You're in surveillance. They wanna kill you or put you in jail. For what? For nothing. You will trade cases. Currently I'm dealing with something like that. Yeah, you have a secret friendship with them. Did you get that? You have a secret friendship. I remember when I used to cherish the secret friendship that I will have with my mother when my siblings are gone. I used to think that that's how it should be. But no, it was not supposed to be like that. No, it was not. I would have a secret friendship with my mother. When my sister came along, that when she flipped, she would just talk bad about me. She would just say things that I didn't do. She would like accuse me of a lot. But I'll be like, but not like, not 2 days ago. We were like this. And you constantly have why do you have a secret friendship with your mother? Why? Or why do you have a secret friendship with your lover? But the next day they flip, like like you didn't matter anymore. Like they would, they accuse you of things that you never done. You blame of things that you never done. A secret friendship, it's nah, it's a not it. That they were not celebrated. If they were, they would ruin it. They would make you celebrate your birthday, but they would. I remember, like, she sent me somewhere when it was my birthday, and I came back late at night, and I was tired, and I was like, this bitch. I remember saying, I know people say like, ah, she's your mother, whatsoever. Guys, being a dirty bitch is weird. Being a dirty bitch, I'm not gonna sugarcoat that shit. You are a dirty bitch. Like, you are a dirty bitch. You are a fucking dirty bitch. You know why? Why are you doing that? Because I mentioned that my birthday, she sent me somewhere to spend it waiting in lines. I come back like, it was a long line. Yo, I came back tired and I was not even in a mood for it. Even right now, I'm having difficulties of celebrating my birthday. I'm not even sure I even like them. Like, I just make like it's another day, or maybe I buy myself something, or maybe like cards, or maybe or clothes. I just make it like a useless day because, oh, I don't know how to say it. I don't even like surprises. I just feel weird about it. Because I feel like I receive more surprises that are nasty than a good one. So I'm just like, oh, don't do surprises for me. That's just don't. Self-criticism is encouraged. When you hate yourself, they encourage you to hate yourself. They encourage self-criticism. When you don't love yourself, you feel like, you're useless, whatsoever. They encourage that. They don't encourage you to be good. They don't encourage you to be what? They want you to feel bad about yourself. Everything with them contradict. Everything with the narcissist contradict. everything with a narcissist contradict, because whatever they say, they ended up lying, and forget that they actually lie. That's why whenever when you be like, whenever I come across a narcissist, I remember this girl. She was actually my roommate. Like it's an example. She actually talked about her losing her virginity, blah 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 blah. And then she said, "Oh, I lost my virginity at high school." And then after like some time, she said, "Oh my God, I lost my virginity when I was doing my first thing." In the topic, she was talking about her life. Like she's a person that cheats. Like she cheats a lot. And then she was talking about like I just prefer monogam relationship, blah 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 blah. I'm like, okay. And the next thing, when this other girl was visiting her, she was talking about her other relationship that she had while she's dating this other guy. And I was like, everything with them, they conduct it. They think that you forget, or maybe like the things with lying, you can't always thinking that your lies won't be the problem in future, because you're gonna lie and it's what's gonna happen. They contradict everything they say. They contradict. They will say, I remember when I was a kid. This is sometimes I feel like it's a dream, but I know it's not a dream, because that thing, it was real. It happened for real. So when I was a kid, obviously a naive kid, you constantly asking your mother's question. I was a curious kid, so I was the annoying one. So I remember asking my mother, "What is government?" And she said something I don't know, but I know it contradicted what she said later on. And then she mentions me. I'm like, oh. And then later on, she stopped the car. She was trying to stop a car that was actually in front of her, and she was like, government. I know this is weird, like, but that's how it was. And it was like, government. I know government is an organization. It's more like an organization now, right? But in the past, as young as I was trying to understand. She said something, and the next thing, she's calling someone government, just trying to stop the car. And the way I look at it, I think it's someone was actually in certain department or whatsoever. She was, I don't know, like nurses are weird guys, like the most like, fuck, yo. Oh, your content told you. Oh, please, you're actually. Have you ever watched the Cinderella mother? This Cinderella, the stepmother. For me, it was my biological mother, but that woman, I just know those things she said. Like, oh, yeah, like she will, like she wants. Sometimes it won't be obvious about the hate, the hate. It will that kind of hate that felt it stink, but at the same time, it won't be like a harsh one. Like she will say it like nicely, like, oh please, you're so like, who's gonna love you? Like, you know, you're too weak. Uh, like all those kind of weight like that will make you feel sad about yourself. They make you feel bad. For example, I was emotional when I was a curious one, so she made me feel bad about my curiosity. She made me feel bad about my sensitivity, because she view it as weakness, because nurses don't like being vulnerable. They hate being vulnerable. They fucking hate that shit. Everything is wrong. Everything that is wrong in their life is your fault. It is your fault, whether you are there or not there. It's your fault. I remember when my brother used to take her bag without her permission. Sometimes he would take it, like, for example, like she's holding it, like she would take it back and take the money out, and she'll be like, "It's your fault." She would let him leave, and then the next thing, "It's your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault." No, no. My nickname is not. It's your fault. No, no. Yeah, blah 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 blah. I'm like, how will I know what is going on within my brother's head? How when her shoes when she sit on the couch, she used to just whenever she's sitting on the couch, be like, and when she's sitting on the couch, and the couch obviously will break, and it would be my fault. By that time, I was skinny as fuck. Like I was like, what the fuck? Like, we constantly been blamed for shit that we never done. Okay, I mentioned that they love news, the bad one. And oh, they're so obsessed with authority. They think they can control everything. They can control you. Can like, what's wrong with these people? Like, they are so obsessed with authority. They think you need permission from them. Have you ever like want to change a career path and the next other person is telling you as if you need permission from? No, bitch. I need support from you. I don't need your authority. I don't need you to tell me what to do with my life. You know, don't even know where I am emotionally, spiritual, and whatsoever. You are telling me what to do. They think like they have control in everything. They think that you're supposed to go through them. They like their authority. Like it's like shit. Like oh guys, like oh forgive me my facial. But I have to tell you this. Like they're so obsessed with authority. They're also obsessed with telling you what. To, bitch, like shut up. Or they're trying to empty you out all the time. Have you ever come across people who are trying to empty you out? They try by all means to make you be out of it. They you have no will. They make you feel like you don't have a will whatsoever, because they are gods. They are gods. They think they are gods. I know that I'm powerful, but I do know that I'm not powerful than God, my ancestors, because they see what they see. They see what I don't see. So I'm learning to be obedient to what God, because sometimes He send me assignment. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you, I just wanna, but I know that He knows better. He know that I'm gonna go through this. I'm gonna grow from this. But when I choose what I wanna grow into, do you think I will grow fast? Like no, like I won't even mature fast. I won't even like, because I choose them because I want something comfortable. At the end of the day, we want comfort, but like every time when I get comfortable, everything just fall apart. Whenever I'm trying to be comfortable with the money just, I'm like, God, what are you doing to me? But it's okay. So they're emptying out. You have no will, you have no mind, feelings of your own. You're not supposed to express your emotion, your feelings. You have no mind. They think like you are still not, you're just supposed to be empty. Like they're trying to robot you. They are making a robot out of you. They want you to be a robot. That's what they want. They want you to be a fucking robot. Or they view emotions, forgiveness as a weakness. Like I once come like my okay, I'm not gonna say I once because I'm talking about my other brother. I'm the 10th child. I'm the last born. So I'm the 10th child and I'm the last born. So I happen to be different. And but now we're six. Four of them died. One was a stillborn, and the other three, two I didn't met them. The seven one, it's my late brother who died 2010. Yeah, 2010. He was that one. So they view emotion as a weak. Like I once had a conversation with my brother. Why do you hate being emotionally? Why do you hate being what's fucking? Oh, it's a fucking weakness. I don't like being vulnerable. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay. They view it as a weakness. For forgiving someone, it's like a weakness. I remember, like they they have grudge for life. Ever coming across, like for example, you've done something. For example, like you didn't show up when it was important. Probably you had a good reason why you didn't show up, and then they will hold that grudge forever, like forever. Despite the fact that she had other moments, or she had, or he had other moments. For example, I remember when I was a kid, I tried to run away, but unfortunately, where I grew up, it's a small town. Often, orphanage is something that is not available. Like orphans are like, it's not something that is actually there. There's no such service in the small town. So I remember trying to run away. But when I was trying to run away, I knew that it won't be something like it will be temporary thing. But because I didn't have anyone that I can go to, I can run to when I was young, because I think I was in the primary. When I did that, she contacted. Like, I remember, like, why did you fetch me back from that home? she was like, I don't know how she said something like, "You're trying to embarrass me." Like, she never forget that. She never forget the fact that I tried to, but she act like she doesn't remember what she said to me. Like, I never said that. Like, you know, when, unless you're trying to remember what they said, there's like something that they said like 20 minutes ago, 10 minutes or 5 minutes or 2 minutes ago. They were like, I don't remember. They remember what you done when I was in primary. That's how they are. They don't forgive. Even if I don't understand why I have to ask for forgiveness for something that I want to run away from home, because I wanted so badly to run away. I knew that I was not treated fairly. I knew that I was not treated as a child that I was supposed to be treated. I was Cinderella. Like, it was not even my stepmother. It was my fucking mother. So a lot of people were like, oh, is she a stepmother? Oh, like, how she's your mother? She love it. Fuck those bitches. Just fuck those bitches. Um, they act like you're not able to take care of yourself. Like, I remember, like, for example, I mentioned one in my video whereby I mentioned that actually my first day I live with my brother, but it was not something that I agree on. He made it feel like I can't live for myself. I was 19, 18 to 19, so she acted like I won't be able to carry myself. I will be unmisbehaved. I'll be blah 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 blah. They constantly want you to make you like they shelter, but it's not sheltering. They want to use you. For example, my brother used me to be a nanny for her kids. I didn't mind because I'm my aunt, but the fact that I have to be used as a nanny, I was a substitute for nanny. Every time when I came late, she will have problem with me coming late. Like, what the fuck with this dude? Like, when I take myself, she hate the fact that I'm taking myself out, the fact that I'm saving money to do something for myself. Like, narcissists are just weird people. They order. They just order you. They don't ask. They don't. They don't do anything. They just order you. Do this. Do that. Do that. You see. You see. Like, do this. Just like they demand. They fucking demand. Even they don't ask. You never hear a narcissist ask. That's why I never, when you were a kid, they used to barge in your bedroom. You never have privacy. I remember why I was so obsessed with moving on to university, because I didn't like school. But the fact that I would have privacy, oh shit, that made me feel some type of way. I was so fucking happy. Like, I was so fucking happy. The fact that I would have privacy, I would be a university student. And I was lucky because when I went in for the second, I got my funding second year. And as I got my funding, I was able to live at risk. And when I did that, I was so fucking happy because I knew that I would have privacy. I knew that I would have a locker. I would lock my door. Like, that means nobody's gonna be a pain in the ass. You know, nobody's gonna come in without knocking. They won't budge in anytime because I'm an introvert, so I hate anything that is too much of a stimuli. Because someone the fact that you knock, that's a good thing, because you are knocking. That means I'm allowing myself to be open to the fact that there's someone at the door. But the fact that you have to open my door and my anxiety, I used to be my nerves, my anxiety to be up. Even like they always trying to make it things like that. Like, I don't like people who visit people in the morning. Why are you running away from me? Like, unless if it's important. I just don't like visitors. I have a thing for not liking visitors, because when I'm looking back, it's because I'm an introvert. Like, I'm in visitors that come without telling me that they're coming, I don't like them. It's because when I was a kid, my mother made sure that visitors know me as a shit child. So I realized, oh gosh, I have this fear. It's because, oh, that's why I'm like this. Because when I was a kid, she would make me like I'm a bad child. Like, I did something, like, all the visit will come like, oh, this child, like, blah blah blah. Like, I can't be like saying exactly it, because I don't hold things on. Like, the fact that I'm speaking about it now, it's give me like, I'm not even trying, because at the time I was like, I was grasping because of the fact that I'm not sick, that I thought I was sick. I'm not like I'm mentally ill, because for the for the my existence, I used to think I was the crazy one, because everyone agreed with other, but I was the only one who was not. So obviously, you would think the problem is you, because everyone is thinking you're sick, but you are not. When they're out, they are different. Whenever they are out, whether they're taking out, they are different. Like, they are different, guys. Like, they look like kind. They are hugging. They are kissing you. I remember when my mother hugged me on my graduation from university. She hugged me like she's the most. I didn't hug her back. I was like, I was so scared. Like it was something that she never done. Like they are like that. You would think they are normal people. Some people even are jealous of them. Like, oh my gosh, just so much loving people. Oh, the pity, pity, whatsoever the affectionate that they show outside. And I'm like, which is not like true. That's why whenever I see a couple of that I affectionate like that in public, I wonder if are they like that in private, or they're doing that for display or something. Like I, I tend to have that in mind. Like, oh, I really like that in life. Okay, they always remind you of bad things that you've done. I'm talking about those things that you done that were actually honest mistake that you didn't do on purpose. You didn't like, I'm doing this to this. No, you didn't do that to anyone. They will constantly like remind you of what you done, bad things that you done. Like for example, I mentioned about my trying to run away because I was abused by her emotionally, mentally, spiritual, as well as physical. My father, I mentioned that was not available. That man was the way he was. I don't think that man. He knew that when we're having sex, there's high possibility without protection you're gonna make babies. But in his mind, he act like no, like he act like sperm is just water. So I'm not gonna talk so much about it because as much as abusive, I felt like we were breathing when he's not there. But my mother was the continuation of him. He was like the extension of her, of him. But he was more mean to me than my other sibling. He used to. My mother preferred boys than girls, but I also came across Narcissists who preferred girls than boys. Or sometimes, if we are boys, they prefer the other ones who are actually exactly as them, who make them um, seen as good parent. For example, if the guy is masculine and the other guy is slim and more like a medic type, whatever, they don't like those one. They want those one who are masculine and those one who are viewed as more beautiful. I'm not saying the skin one is not like they're beautiful too. It's just that the other one is more recognized, so they always go. You would think it's love, but it's not love. And I remember I used to threatening and have like conservation with myself, like I wish my mother can love me like my sister, or maybe if I get A plus, maybe whatsoever, maybe like if I clean like I used to do all that, but I didn't get A plus because I was not like academical smart. I was okay with getting B, I was okay with getting C, I was okay with getting D, because I tried. Like I did try. I knew that academically I'm not smart, but that doesn't mean that I'm not supposed to be loved. Why should I have to do something other me to receive love? You know, I used to think like it's like when I grew up, I'm like, even them, she ruined them. She, because my siblings, they don't know how to take responsibility at all. I was giving responsibility of others. I was giving responsibility to do everything. I was giving responsibility to remain at home. They would take trips and make me feel like I'm not supposed to take any trips. I'm not supposed to stay at home and guide the home whatsoever. You know, they used to make me feel like I'm some furniture or something that's supposed to be neglected, something that is not supposed to be seen or heard or anything. You know, I was just some property or anything like that. I said they are, when they're out, they are different people, kind, hugging, kissing. They will always remind you of the things you've done. Wounding way, they're always finding the wounding way to hurt you, a harmful way or awful way to trash you. And that's why when a narcissist is actually kind to you, you have to know that you're gonna pay for it. If a narcissist bought you a clothes, just know the next day or next few hours, you're gonna suffer emotionally. They're gonna make you feel it that I bought you something, because they don't like responsibility. The fact that they buy you clothes, they know that it's another way. That's when they buy you something that you actually want. For example, I usually wanted All-Star when I was a kid, because I'm that person who prefer clothes that I know that they want the room, like they want get out fashion. Because I knew that I grew up poor. She bought me like beautiful sneakers, Adidas, but it was not something that I liked. It was the most beautiful sneakers, I'm not gonna lie. They were beautiful. I was in high school at the time. A lot of people admire them also. But I was not happy with them. It's just that I appreciate because she bought them for me, but I suffer so much for those. We went to the best schools in town, a high school. Let me be specific. In high school, it was the best school. It was the best boarding school, but I was not a boarder. I was a day scholar. So a day scholar is someone who sleep at home, who eat at home, or whatsoever. But you know, a lot of people wanted to be like us, but they didn't know what is actually happening in our life. Because what is happening in our life, it was different. We were like robot. We didn't show much of what is happening in our life because a lot of people admire what they see in us. But in honest, that what was happening within us, what is happening within our home surrounding, it was different than what we were showing outside. Because a lot of people assume that we just there, but in honest, we were suffering. Even those were my siblings that were actually being favored, because there was even a time that we couldn't go to school because we didn't. My mother was a teacher. We couldn't finish her schoolwork. She wanted us to finish her schoolwork, or else if we don't, we won't go to school. Whether you have a test or exam, it doesn't matter. Meaning, my weekend I have to spend it marking the school learners, as well as my sister. Because my sister used to mark maths because she was intelligent in maths. I prefer notes. And oh, another thing she used, because we both have almost the same writing, but her was more collected than mine. So she used to write the shadows. When you are a teacher, you know about shadows, blah blah blah, the other things, the concept, the learners, like all those kind of stuff. She used to write that for me. I used to mark because she taught grade 6 and grade 7 math and science, as well as technology, English. So I used to mark those, while my sister only marked maths. So I like, when we're not done doing that, that means there's no school for us. We were not going to school. That how bad it was. They confuse you. You will feel like a bad person, a bad child. Everything they give you affection. Like, they confuse you. That's why I said they give it like a yo-yo love, a yo-yo thing. Everything with them is yo-yo. 1 minute you're high, 1 minute you're down. Like, they give you like that. They like to control you like that. Uh, they keep you, hopefully, I mentioned that, happy in order to bring you back down. Like, we want you to be, hopefully, to be happy, and we want to bring you back down. You constantly have a slave relationship. I mentioned that in one of my videos about the narcissist love. You have a slave relationship with narcissist. Whether that person is your brother, whether that person is your sister, whether that person is your mother, your parent, or your co-worker, or a friend, you are a slave of some sort. It's either you're a slave of emotionally punching back, or slave of it, or like, you are a slave. You are supposed to suffer. They give like a slave relationship. You are a slave, they are the boss. They do not respect you. They don't see you. They don't see you as a human. They have a weight with humans. Like, oh please, like they make you feel like you are not human. You are just some sort of an object that they have taken, toss it around. Uh, they break spirit. They break spirit. They break your spirit, and they are spirit breakers. They all constantly trying to drive you mad. They want you to be insane. So they're like, oh, this one is crazy. Oh, don't mind that one. She's mentally ill or mental. But at the time, they are having your personality. When I'm saying they're having your personality, they are you outside. The kindness and sweetness that you have, they're trying by almost to kill within you. It's a kindness that they're trying to demonstrate outside, that this is what they are. But in all honesty, this is who you are. You constantly liking them sometimes for the kindness, because that's who you are. You are the kind one. They are mimicking your personality outside. That's why, but they're trying by almost to make your personality to die, because narcissists want you to have a dead personality so that they can take your personality. Do you understand what I'm saying? Narcissists, they have to kill your personality in order for them to survive outside, so that they don't have to compete. because they see you as a competition. They don't see you as a person. They don't see you as a what, as a child or whatsoever. They will like, for example, my mother tried to take my eyes out. That woman, I guys, she was trying to take my eyes out. She wanted to ruin my looks. Like recently, like I stopped posting. Like I have a bump here. Then this bump is actually a witchcraft effect. I had a bump. I look, I even look weird, but now it's getting down. Like even my ears, you won't even notice that I actually had like a problem. But it was huge. Like I knew it's just the effect of because one of the a spiritual teacher she said experiencing witchcraft, it's an experience, and it's true. It's one of the nastiest experience, but it's just experience, meaning you can move on from it. They can try to ruin your face and do whatever, but what is yours will always be yours. But I'm not saying other people cannot be affected, because I came across a video whereby a female friend put like she poured acid on her friend, and her friend was ruined for life. She had scars on her face, you know. Some people are like that. So I'm just grateful that she doesn't know how the effect of that was. And probably I'll be ruined from, I don't know. They don't respect your privacy. They barge in as they don't knock. They don't respect your privacy. They don't think you're supposed to have privacy. It's them who are supposed to have privacy. Have you ever stepped on your Narcissist boundaries? Have you seen how they react? They react like to kill somebody, because in their head they believe it's only them that's supposed to have boundaries. You're not supposed to have them. It's only them who's supposed to have boundaries, not you. How dare you? How dare you have privacy? How dare you have this? That's why they budge in. They feel entitled to budge in your room. For what? Hmm? They play a malicious mind game, trail with every repetition. They repeat their malicious mind game. Well, they play malicious mind game, trailer with every repetition, meaning they all constantly step on attacking you. The repetition is more twirl and twirl and twirl every time. They fantasize life. They fantasize life. Have you ever come across someone who's so much into fantasy? Like everything with them, it's like a fantasy. When they're talking about, like for example, I'm gonna say this. When I came across like a YouTube channel, like most of them the like channel with the cartoons by people sharing that experience. I know those are run by are running by Narcissist. The happy ending, the all that. I'm not saying happy ending is not possible. It's possible, but with them, when they're like, you know, because you just can feel that something's wrong. They fantasize life. They make it like it's everything is so perfect. Everything like, oh, I was so happy. Like everything with them is fantasy. They do things as fantasy. That's why whenever you're trying to break free from a narcissist, they're trying to trade this fantasy image about how you mean to them. What do you mean to me? You're my life. I will die. Like you can be suffering from breaking up with someone, but you're not gonna die. I'm not talking about the shock that you experience to like that cause heart attack. I'm not talking about that, because that can happen. But I'm talking about them. Like you're the love of my life. Have you experienced those words? I'm the love of my life. I can't breathe without you. Like it's so narcissistic. They fantasize like like the most weirdest people they ever came across. You know. I wanna try best example about fantasy. Even if they're talking about how they met their lovers, I came across like a lot on YouTube whereby how they met their love, blah blah blah, and I was like, like you can tell there's line in. They fantasize life. They make it like a fantasy, you know. They break a lot. They insult a lot. They insult you a lot publicly. They're trying by all means to make you feel bad about yourself. They're trying by all means to make you like shit things. They make threat. I remember when I finally got my funding where I was able to move on a university residence. You know what my brother said? I was happy, obviously, meaning because the funding was going to supply for accommodation, um, for books. Each semester, I would get like once off for each semester, but monthly I would receive like a food allowance, and I will also food allowance, accommodation. I will pay for my studies. So when I told him that I got that, he was not happy. He was like, "Oh, you did." When I didn't ask him to, because he had a car, so I didn't ask him like, "Can you take me to where I will be staying?" I didn't ask him. Instead, they said he would take me there. When he did, when we were supposed to separate, he said something like, "Oh, I, I, but it said something like I'm a hoe." Like I would go around and hoe around. Like it was more like a threat rather than lecturing your sister. It was more like I'm threatening you. I'm just like, I'm not supposed to leave. I'm supposed to be scared of leaving. You know, it's the same thing. Like you won't be able to live without me. You need me. It's more like that. You need me. You won't live without me. You know, I remember I looked at him like, and he didn't look at me, like he didn't look at my face. He didn't look, like, because he was driving. I was in the back on his car. It was a private car, and he was like, "What does it mean by that?" You know what? I didn't visit that brother. Like I visited him when he was not in, because obviously work night shift sometime, and his wife, his ex fiance, was actually a teacher. So you know what does it mean? That means there was a time that she won't be, both of them won't be available. So my other brother asked me to go and babysit kids, but I didn't mind, because I was like, okay, both of them won't be there anyway. So I was like, okay. So I don't mind. I don't feel like I'm losing because really I just need a new environment. Because sometimes you just need something to, you know. So I didn't mind that. Okay, they make threats, they imitate others. Like, huh? Like, oh guys, those people, like, they constantly like, yeah, live. Like, oh, I remember when I was growing up, my father would just pour food in my mother's face, like, oh, take the whole food and pour it in her face, and then the food by that time it would be hot, like her skin never got ruined by the burns. She would pour food on her face, or sometimes you take the coffee table and put it down. Our coffee table growing up from 2006 up down, it was like you can separate the upper part, and but it was obvious when it was new. It was not broken, but it was broken to two pieces, whereby you can separate the upper part and where the down part, because every time we would just throw it out, like we just throw it out, or sometimes we try to intimidate. Like I was constantly, like, whenever I was studying, I was just constantly like closing my ears because the noise was too much. And not only that, I was just suffocating. I was too sensitive to see the scene, because I was constantly like closing my eyes. Sometimes I would see it. So it was like they're trying to imitate you. Like, do you know who I am? Like they try to make their faces weird, but their stare is blank. Like their eyes are red, like they're full of rage and hate. So you just like, you constantly, that's why they try to put you in fear, to cause you to be anxious. I was constantly anxious when I was a kid. I was constantly in fear, depressed, whatsoever. Because like he would throw things out, like he would beat you for no reason. Like it was awful, you know. So they try by all means to intimidate you. Sometimes they use physical abuse to intimidate you, and they say you are supposed to be scared of me. Why should I should be scared of you? Like I would understand you are scared of me because I'm smart. You are scared of me because of I can see you. I would understand that you are scared of the fact that I can see through you. Because obvious, even myself, when I'm coming across someone else who's spiritual who can see through me, I'm like, oh fuck. Sometimes I'm like, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, it's okay, because obviously that can, like, nobody want to be seen, like nobody want to be seen like that. Nobody want to, even if you are doing like, for example, a mentor, you, and then the mentor's pointing out your the what you're actually not ready to deal with. Obviously, people scared, but that's a scared that is normal. But for them, they're trying to make them like everything. Whenever they say jump, you're supposed to jump. Trying to intimidate you all the time, trying to shut you out, just trying to silence you, to trying to, like, they try by all means to intimidate you. They use cops even, like they are just horrible beings. They want you to worship them. They are the god. Most of them, a lot of people, like other narcissists are pastors, right? Others, they don't believe in God. They believe they're God. And they try every time a narcissist trying to destroy you, and then everything's back up. Some of them, they're confused. How did it back up? Because we are God. Like it backfire. I mean, because it backfire. Everything they try to do on you, most of the time, if you are the chosen one, or maybe you are the innocent one in a situation. I'm not saying all people that blame people are in jail for wrong crimes, or crimes that they were not they were framed on, or crimes that they never commit. Because why? Things like that can happen when you're dealing with narcissists. Narcissists can put you in jail when you are a threat. They can put you in jail. That's why, like, for example, when I'm looking at the America, like most men, like especially black men, I want, like, America overall is run by a lot of narcissists, but I'm not saying South Africa is not like that, because we experienced that too. But growing up, the fact that when we were growing up, we were told America is a green, blah 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 country. That was insane. Like, I remember when I was a kid, why people love America that much? Like, I didn't understand, because I didn't see the beauty that other people see. Instead, I wanted to be in island countries. I want to be island country. I want to be in Asia, India, because I love Asian countries. But most people make it like, oh, America is the only country that is the things that, no, America is wrong, is running, is they is controlled by narcissists. But I'm not saying you can't fulfill, because when I see America is good for entertainment careers, when I want to be a best actor or whatsoever. But most of the time, for example, South Africa has a lower currency than America. Obviously, when you want a country that has more currency, then you can substitute for America. But it's not America that is good. Like, I can go to South Korea and I'll be happy as fuck, because I love Asian people. I love Asian culture. I'm not just Asian. I just love everyone. But I've known since I was a kid that Indian culture, but most of the time Asian. I'm grown to Asian. I don't know why, but I'm okay with that. But like, they make it like other countries don't matter. Like, just bullshit. But I'm not saying there's nothing, like, I'm saying every country have is bullshit, because whenever I'm saying we're portraying like African, it's like we're always like hungry, like we're just like, I do agree with poverty is very much in South Africa, like in African countries, but I'm not saying like other countries it's not the case. Obviously, African people were not privileged back then. Some are still recovering, some are still there. But I'm not saying, I'm not making excuses, because some you can tell, like, maybe if they didn't have many kids, life would be better. But I just hated the narrative every time when I'm watching American movie. It's either people is a slave. Slave of who? Slave of who, bitch? Yeah, I'm talking about that kind of narrative. It just disgusts me. When it's an Asian man, it's either, hey, kia, 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 ah, kia. Hey guys, I'm glad, like, I'm sure, but I know that they're actually like sane people who make a good script, who does storytelling, that is gonna be acted by people who are actually sane, and that person is not narcissist. But most of the time, it used to just make me feel sad. As young as I was, but I didn't understand. I didn't like it. I didn't like that action me, where most viewers say like, oh, care, care, care. Not only there's the most calm one, because I was grown into them without even realizing. Oh, a black person have to be a slave, or have to be like, it was just disgusting. It's just disgusting. But again, I'm not gonna say anything. Oh, nurses have a lot of time. Nurses have a lot of time. Like they have a lot of time to demonize other people, and they are not helping at home. They have a lot of time to demonize other people. They have a lot of time to plan how to treat this person. They have a lot of time to this and this and that. They are not helping at home. Have you ever dated someone who make you feel like you are supposed to carry yourself in them, but you're supposed to carry them first before yourself? Have you ever experienced that? Like you're supposed to carry, you feel like like that life will be better if this person does not tell you to do something simple as taking rubbish, a rubbish bin. Like they'll be in the house for a whole day, but they won't take a rubbish bin, or maybe you are both working, and she can do her own hair, but she will want your money with her like she's working, but she can do it her own hair. She was, but like I'm not saying if you like spoiling a woman like that, it's okay. It's just that sometimes I feel like women are so entitled. Sometimes even men too. Like you feel like like with a narcissist, everything that is like everything that is actually mine, things that are actually mine, I'm gonna share, but you can't share with a narcissist. Have you ever come across people are like that? I still would believe in a man provide. I do, like I fucking do. I do believe in that shit. Even in myself, I want a relationship like that. I don't want a relationship like, for example, I grew up in an extremely masculine woman, and I thought being a masculine is cute, but it's not. It's not cute, especially if you are knowing within yourself it's not cute. So I used to admire them, like all the men, even my aunties. They were not masculine. They were not emotionally. They were more feminine. I don't know why they feminize men like so badly. I'm not saying some other men like they can't be feminine, and like if you are able to balance it both, that's healthy. But for when you find a man who's so feminine, and like for me, it doesn't like. I'm not trying to judge or anything, but it just doesn't like. I'm really like having difficulty. But I understand. Like I grew up with a very masculine woman. They provide, they do everything, and it was a bloodline thing. But the last time, like my grandparent were actually the opposite. That's what I said. My grandfather from my mother's side, like he even cooked, he did everything. Like he was a provider. The only thing he was not, it was not held. I don't think he treated his son better. I think like he prefer. I think he prefer his daughter more than uh his son, because when I noticed his son were not viewed, were not heard, were not whatsoever. When I'm looking at the bloodline, because probably Nama would have done the same mistake. When I realized, okay, this is what happened in the bloodline. It was shitty like this and that, and there are actually a lot of things that are actually happening in the bloodline. So when you're breaking a generational curse, look at them, study your grandparent, even if they're dead. For example, I was fortunate for me to meet my grandmother from my mother's side, who she died in 2011. But my father's side, I don't know anyone, and I don't give a fuck. I just don't. But I do know through like his siblings as well as him, or like yeah, blood and shit as fuck. So when you're breaking generational curse, this is something that should be aware. Just study them before you do something that is actually the same. Because sometimes you'll be like, I want breaking generational curse, but you won't even realize what is exactly are you breaking. I'm not only breaking financially curse, I'm breaking narcissism in my bloodline. The narcissism in my bloodline, they throw tantrum like everything. Like, like they throw this. I'm like with food. They like whether your food, like, you, like, they would say, for example, we are dishing up food and then you give them with a certain plate, they would have a problem with that plate, and then they will tell you